There's no doubt about the human cost of Wednesday's suspected chemical weapons attack. Hundreds dead, many more seriously affected. The little girl who featured on last night's programme remains gravely ill. But what is still uncertain is whether the United Nations inspectors will be able to secure the evidence they need to back up claims that President Assad's regime is to blame. The White House says it now has very little doubt that the onslaught was launched on civilians by Syrian government forces. But officials say any tests now will be too late to be credible. And just to warn you, James Blake's report does contain some distressing images right from the very start.
Last night, Channel 4 News showed images of an unknown girl in a coma for 5 days, suffering the symptoms of chemical poisoning. Today, our cameraman returned to the field hospital in Douma, where a woman had been seen searching hospitals, looking for a little girl.
هي خالي مريم الحمد لله على سلامتها الحمد لله على سلامتها يا خالي. هو استشهد.
Mariam is 5 and still clings to life. This is her grandmother. Her mother's too sick to come. She now carries photographs of her other grandchildren who died last Wednesday in the attack that killed hundreds within 3 hours. She says they all died in front of their mother, who also lost her life. It is one personal tragedy out of thousands in Syria, and she blames President Assad. Today, the Assad regime went on a PR offensive to deny it carried out this attack. An army statement followed then by an interview on Lebanese TV.
We are assuring you that we did not use them, but we also want to say that those who have used this weapon are terrorist armed groups.
Finally, this afternoon, the UN envoy in Syria met with officials and was told UN teams will be allowed in to inspect and gather evidence. The White House today stated it has very little doubt it was the Assad regime behind the chemical attack. This is the much vaunted red line, after which America has promised a very serious response from the international community.
President Obama has asked the Defense Department to prepare options for all contingencies. We have done that, and again, we are prepared to exercise whatever option if he decides to employ one of those options.
In the realm of global diplomacy, this is very delicate. As US warships gather in the Mediterranean, Russia warns against assigning blame too soon. Iran threatens the US with severe consequences if it crosses a red line with any military intervention, to which Syrian ministers added that would create a ball of fire that would inflame the Middle East. Just outside Damascus, in the area of the chemical attack itself, the streets of Douma are all but deserted today. Tens of thousands have fled to attempt the crossing into Jordan. For those who remain, many families hide inside, often without electricity. Back at the field hospital in Douma, the Channel 4 News cameraman finds another child who has been unconscious since Wednesday. Ali is 4 years old. Medical teams have had to pump toxic gas out of his body. The doctor knows he came from a big family.
This child is the only one left who has survived out of a family of 40 people. He's the only one left, the only one. Just him and his uncle and Allah. He was brought here by his uncle.
Then, to the amazement of the medical staff, Ali wakes up. He says his name over and over again and nothing else. But he has not been told yet just what happened to him, or that all his close family are gone.